what is one of the biggest gems you got from Caitlin Adams, man?
Who? Oh yeah, Caitlin Adams. That was my acting coach. How the fuck you know that? By name, first and last name. Yo, I think what she told me, there's a lot of people that come from music and try to make a transition into acting. And when you have a strong aura, a strong presence, it's easy to think that that's going to carry you, right? Mm-hmm. So what I had to learn is that the memorization, the delivery was totally different than being a musician. So I think the best gem that she gave me was, when you go through a script and you reading it is dead on arrival as soon as you take the life out of it. As soon as you lose the stakes in it, it's a wrap. Mm-hmm. So I had to start going through my scripts, and really before we even start performing or start rehearsing anything, she and I would sit there and just have a conversation about life, what's important, what's happening in my life, and she would see the trigger points. And so then we would go through the script, and now I cross that. I'm supposed to be talking to person A. Person A becomes my father. Mm-hmm. Person B becomes a sister, a friend, an enemy, somebody I love, somebody I hate. And then now when I'm reading that line, I know who to direct it to, right? So that, in a nutshell, that's what it is, man. Being able to listen is a skill in acting that people kind of overlook as well. So, that's something that I had to kind of figure out, and now I'm better at it. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Yeah. But it's something I have to work at. I could do music in my sleep. I know what that feels like. It comes from my soul. But then when you have to tell stories of other people and tell other people's, stories, then you have to do it in a way that feels real. Yeah. And that's the biggest gem I got from her.
Of course, Shade 45. Bro.
Yeah.
The Shady Bunch tattoo, fam.
Covered.
Yeah. Where was it?
It was on my left arm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Salute to Ali Rock.
Yeah, Ali Rock. Yeah. That was supposed to be when I first started, I was rocking with King T, and he was in this group called, he had a production team called 360.
Yeah.
And then 360 was, this guy James Broadway, and he had this idea of having me and Ali Rock be a group. So I was excited about it. I got this went to this tattoo shop, faded. Shady Bunch. They thought that was a good idea, and after, it's kind of like one of them things. Like, this is not gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna put us somewhere we don't want to be.
Full circle though. The Jack Move thing happens. Now we all know, but there's an embezzlement situation, and then it's left on a young man to try to figure this out.
Correct.
So, did you maximize the opportunity for yourself?
Yeah, it was. I was signed to a production company called Jack Move Productions.
Yeah.
Before, and that was how it was supposed to be the production company that signed to Loud Records. So when they defaulted, let's just say they defaulted on their part of the contract. So I was signed directly to Loud now. So because they canceled themselves out. And instead of making an artist contract, they just left it how it was. Now, what they didn't expect was for me to read the contract and then exercise my rights.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I was able to navigate and, do more on a creative side than a lot of the other artists that were coming from where we were. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. They didn't like that, Steve and them, but shout out to Steve, Rich, everybody at Loud,
But it's one of the good stories because you always hear about people getting jerked in their youth, and this is amazing. And talking,
I still got jerked.
I mean,
but,
yeah.
they find ways around this
one
shit.
little thing, that worked towards you.
Yeah.
Now, when I was coming up in the battle scene, my dumb ass was down to battle everybody.
Yeah.
Talk about unity.
Yeah.
Good life era.
Yeah.
Who you ever battle that we may know from that time?
Man.
Even if it was cordial, later on, because it was different back then. There was nobody knocking. It was just straight rapping like animals.
We did come up in the battle rap scene, and what I'm saying is, like, we would cypher anywhere. It don't matter. It was like we go out to Venice Beach, and we can get in a cipher, and then it would just be boom. It don't matter who it is, right?
Yeah.
But then it was like the real battle, the real gladiator school was going up to the Wake Up Show with Tech and Sway. And going up there and, listen, you had to hold your own because your mic time would get cut so short. If we see a weakness, we pounce it right in. We just going to cut in and cut right over you and just keep going. So that's kind of where it was. And then I was built from that, you know what I'm saying? And then when Unity came, that was where, like, that was the breeding ground of where we met our heroes. Right, so Bigger B, rest in peace. That was his gig, and he threw it with Orlando, and he worked as an A&R in the West Coast office of Loud. So he would always book, like, that was the first time we got to see Wu-Tang live.
Right.
The first time we got to see, Nas live. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would bring them out, and then we, the local artists, would we would put our bid in and try to be openers, and he would put the people who was making the most noise on that opening stage. So that was like, okay, cool, we moving up. There was no TikTok. There was no fucking, you know what I'm saying, social media. Like, like you got in that space because you earned it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how we came up in that area. Yeah.
Now, I had a great time over at the Super Bowl seeing my spirit animal, man, Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, B.
Yeah.
I love that dude. And what's crazy in what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Salute to the porn director.
Yeah. Gregory Dark.
The Gregory Dark. Coincidentally, Flavor Flav drives by while y'all making that video.
We're in the middle of shooting the video, and Flavor Flav hops out of a fucking car, and he's like, yo, I want to be in the video. You know, so then we were setting up to do the stunt where the car blows up in the middle. He just happens to be driving by. He hops out right at the perfect time.
Yeah. And
then stands up next to the pole right when the fucking car blows up. And we only could do it one time. So that was one take, Jake.
Perfect.
Perfect timing. That's just divine timing. Universe talking.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Definitely one of those great energies. Now, once again, you guys may know this gentleman as the voice on Damn. Yeah?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
So that's all you said?
That's it. One word.
Damn. He's like, yo, I'm out, y'all.
Yeah. No, that's all they needed me to say. The real thing was, I was just, the Alcoholics and King T, first of all, shout out King T. He is the one that put the Alcoholics together, and they were the first MCs that I knew were real record deals. I was fresh I was off the block when I met them, and so I had no idea how to write a 16 or write a verse or write a bar. I didn't understand any of that. I would just write long ass battle raps, and so when King T took me under his wing, I credit him for putting me on. Right, like he gave me my issue, and I never made a demo. I never made a mixtape. I never did none of that shit. I went directly into, from that Damn record. I was on King T's 4th album, and it was Freestyle Ghetto.
Yeah,
which was the first song I ever heard myself out on vinyl, on wax, on CD, whatever you want to call it. And that was from that song. I got Steve came to sign. He came and had interest in signing me.
You get a call from Snoop. You go to see Dre.
Yeah.
That's the first time y'all met at that type of level?
Yeah, in person, yes.
And Snoop wasn't there?
No. Snoop called me and said that he wanted to do a song with me. And then he told me, he's like, Dre did the beat. Going over there. So I went over there.
Dolo?
Yeah, Dolo.
Smart.
Come on, man. I think I ran to the studio. and then I walked in the room and, I was like, what's up? What's up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he hit me. He played the beat. I wrote my verse in 10 minutes. I dropped it, and I thanked him for the opportunity, and I left. I get a call later, like, yo, nephew, that's a single. We're going to put it out as a single. We're going to shoot a video. We shot the video. It did what it did. Then I got a call back and was like, hey, Dre was really impressed with your work ethic, and he wants to know if you want to come and be part of the 2001 album.
Fire.
They were going to call, at the time it was just Chronic 2000, right?
Remember that?
And then Death Row tried to make one and
put
out at the same time. That's why it became 2001. And so we ended up, doing a song called "What's the Difference," and then that became an invitation to be on the Up in Smoke tour.
Right.
And then from there, it was
Hold
just
on.
like, it was
Up in
crazy.
Smoke tour, you're given an option.
Yeah.
And I like this option.
Yeah.
20 minutes to open up
Before Warren G.
while they're cleaning,
Yeah.
basically. Oh,
Come
so
on.
let me just set
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah.
When we did anger management, we was there opening. I think we was giving wristbands to everybody and scanning everybody while we was performing. That's how early we was performing, bro.
Yeah.
So I know that life.
Yeah.
It was either do that or rock in the main set, bro.
Right. 2 songs on Dre's set. So
You did that alone?
Yeah.
You came up with that alone?
No, Dre gave me the options.
No, like to make that decision. Because I know it's a lot for a young, of
No,
course
there
you
was
have
no
some
decision.
shit.
There was no decision.
But how smart was that? Because it strengthened your relationship with them, of course, but also a whole new, bigger audience got to witness XZIBIT at that level.
Right, there was a buzz and there was a bubble happening right now. My name was bubbling on the underground scene, and that just took it to another plateau. And then to come out on that set during that time with one of the really livest songs on that album. I mean, first of all, the whole album is iconic, but to be placed in like that position was crazy. It was me, Dr. Dre, Eminem, just being put in that light changed my life. Period.
Are you the only artist that Dr. Dre ever executive produced a full project that wasn't on Aftermath?
Correct. He's done that twice for me, and that was amazing because really. How the story goes is during the Up in Smoke tour, I'll never forget, Steve, from Loud was he's trying to make good, right? And so he came to the thing, and then Dre and Jimmy really just, it was like, I want you to come over. We want to take XZIBIT over and bring him to Aftermath. And Steve was like, yo, XZIBIT's my son. XZIBIT's like my son. And we started together and we're going to finish together. And I was like, oh, shit, Steve, what in the fuck? But I love Steve, you know what I'm saying? And at the time I was really, really, frustrated by it because I felt like he was short-stopping. And, it was like some ridiculous number that he said that he would let it go for. And I was like, bro, you ain't put that into XZIBIT, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but okay, all right. But and so understood, what that was. But Dre was such a real solid dude, and he was just like, okay, no matter what, we gonna make this connection happen, and he did.
Beautiful.
This was I'm the only artist that has ever, had a fully. Full cooperation from Dr. Dre on a project and me not signed to Interscope or Aftermath.
Wow, that's big, man. We are right here with the phenomenal XZIBIT, open bar entertainment business. A lot of greatness. Listen, y'all, Kingmaker is happening. But before we get into that, man, I want everybody to understand this gentleman has been out here cooking. And if you guys have been deep in his catalog, after those projects, clack, 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 clack. There's so many bangers that he has been a part of, and that makes me very happy. But we talking about napalm business, bro. Now listen, we know what happens. Then you put out a $10,000 reward to find the people who, and you actually find them.
Yeah, we did,
bro.
DNA. I was on my forensic files. I was on my, yeah. But we went through a lot, man. Like the cannabis industry is definitely dope, man. No pun intended. I got into creating brands, maybe 10 years ago. And it's elevated since then. I've built a couple brands, but now my latest thing is retail. It was a nice transition from building brands into having my own retail stores.
Yeah.
So why sell one brand when I can sell everybody? And the marketplace is just so volatile. Trying to maintain an overhead of a cannabis company in California is very difficult right now.
Yeah.
So it takes millions and millions and millions of dollars to do that, and if you don't have either a big backing or a corporate backing to do it, then you can drown pretty easily. So, marketing being as strong as it is for the brands that I've created, I was like, let me take that to the retail side. So we got 2 stores that open right now, Exhibit's West Coast Cannabis, one in Bel Air and then one in
It's like a
Chatsworth.
museum.
Right. And it's a high-end store.
Yeah.
I got a real good group of partners with me that did that, and we feel really good about it, man. Snoop got a store, Smoke Weed Every Day. It's over next to LAX.
Yeah.
So, we're all in the same groups. You know what I'm saying? And,
I love it.
It works out really well like that. We were smoking weed and traveling with it and doing all this shit when it was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
But we, as the people who, really thrive and support it and put it in our music, we're always the last ones to get into the big business of it.
Mm-hmm.
We always get the short end of the stick.
Correct.
So there's not many owners in cannabis that come from but I mean, you would think Cypress Hill.
Salute to Redman.
Yeah, Redman. Redman does a lot of real advocacy work for cannabis, and he has a voice on the political side. I think me understanding how to build businesses and I'm really focused on that. That's where my energy is best served.
Right.
So I feel like the more people we have that come from this side that get to invest into cannabis, which isn't many. There's only, as far as owners, there's only like 2 or 3 that I know. There's Al Harrington, there's myself, there's maybe 1 or 2 guys. The rest of the guys don't look like us.
Yeah, you named Wonder Brett.
Yeah. I named Wonder Brett, but I'm just saying I've been in cannabis so long. And it's amazing that, we went to jail the most for it, but the people that put us in jail are trying to benefit the most from it. So I would just be the voices that we have and the support that we have. When you hear somebody talking about a brand, then I think, us as a community support that brand, get behind it, because there's not many of us that have brands that are in there that can really that don't get drowned out and don't have corporate money behind it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important, and I'm very proud of the brands that we built, because people have supported it and people talk about it. But it was important for me not to put my name on it. You
Correct.
know what I'm saying? I want the brand to stand for itself and be competitive, and we have been.
Well, I do want people to know not only that you speak with integrity, but you was out there with the pallets, making sure you was in warehouse, you was traveling, you was making sure you was in the space as a legit person in the business, not as exhibit necessarily.
No. I was moving pallets at 3 a.m, moving stuff around. I got the experience.
Yeah.
And to me, experience is more important, because you learn every aspect of your business.
Yeah.
And so, that way when things fall apart, you know exactly who to fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, y'all. We are right here with XZIBIT.
Yeah.
My brother, it's an honor.
Yeah, man.
It's special to have you up here.
Thank you, man.
You're a talented individual.
Yo, and I've been seeing you, D-Stroy. Come on, man. I've been seeing you, man. I listen to you, man. I really, really appreciate the energy you bring to it. I know, coming from beginnings and then getting to where you are is not easy. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, this is dynamic to see you up here blowing up.
And you will know my name is D-Stroy, my brother.
I like destroyed.
Yeah, destroy. Yeah, destroy.